Education services in Spanish, Arabic, or Mandarin, follow the instructions on screen.
Welcome back to the stage, Barb Baker.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Women in STEM panel presented by Johnson & Johnson. This virtual panel provides a platform to celebrate notable women working in STEM fields and to encourage girls and young women to pursue STEM research and careers. For those of you presenting your questions to the panel today, please step to the microphone in the center aisle when prompted. Let's get started with this message from Johnson & Johnson.
Imagination sparks curiosity that can change the world. At Johnson & Johnson, we understood early on that women are the catalyst for creating healthier people, healthier communities, and a healthier world. We have seen heroic women realizing big dreams, making breakthrough contributions to science, technology, engineering, math, manufacturing, and design. Today, we see the greatest opportunities to change the trajectory of human health coming from these fields. That is why we are committed to empower women and girls at pivotal moments in their lives, to fuel their passion for progress, and to realize their dreams. Welcome to Johnson & Johnson Women in STEM 2D. Beginning in early education, we encourage curiosity and spark enchantment within young girls to explore STEM 2D through creative problem-solving, learning, and play. At the university level, we are working with prestigious academic institutions to inspire undergraduate and graduate students to explore and pursue education, complete their STEM 2D degrees, and pursue a career in these fields. At the professional level, we champion and celebrate the power of women in STEM 2D roles by reimagining recruitment, development, and retention of women in STEM 2D careers. Our community empowers women to stay vital and visible throughout their career journeys. Because at Johnson & Johnson, we know that to truly serve the diverse needs of our patients, consumers, and customers, our workforce should reflect that diversity. To expand and accelerate our mission, we are building strategic partnerships with leaders in STEM 2D fields. Our Why STEM 2D initiative provides incredible opportunities and memorable experiences for millions of girls, young women, and professionals around the world. Together, we can imagine the next generation of inventors and creators, realizing one dream at a time.
Thanks to Johnson & Johnson for their support of this program. Now please welcome our moderator, Johnson & Johnson's VP of Innovation, Global Health and Policy Communication, Seema Kumar. Good afternoon, Seema. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, and that's great. Thank you so much. It's lovely to be here. Hello, everybody, and welcome on behalf of Johnson & Johnson. I want to extend a warm welcome to the International Science and Engineering Fair's Women in STEM panel. I'm Seema Kumar, and I'm so thrilled to be here with all of you today. Johnson & Johnson is really proud to be a sponsor of ISEF, especially this session, because we understand the importance of inspiring the next generation of women into STEM careers. I mean, it's been embedded in the fabric of our company, and it has been around for more than 130 years ago when Johnson & Johnson was founded. This is also one of my personal favorite panel topics to discuss, and so I'm excited and honored to be joined by 4 very distinguished STEM professionals, and I know for sure that this is going to be a fantastic conversation. So let me get right to it and introduce you to our panelists. First, we have Dapo Ajayi. She's the Vice President of Technical Operations and Supply Chain Strategy at Johnson & Johnson. Next, we have Dr. Rebecca Bennell. Rebecca is the Chief Science Officer and Director of the Office of Science at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Our third panelist is Dr. Cassandra Quays, who is an Associate Professor at Emory University and Curator for the Emory University Herbarium. And finally, we're joined by Dr. Jaziane Tolbert. She is a Senior Director of Oncology Research and Development at Janssen Pharmaceutical Company of Johnson & Johnson. Welcome to all of our panelists. It's great to have you all here.
Great to be here.
So, we have so many questions that have come in from the finalists, and they are eager to ask you those questions. But since I have the floor, let me then kick it off by asking each of you to provide me a little insight into your area of expertise, and then share what inspired you to pursue a career in STEM. And I'm going to call on Dapo first. Will you start us off, Dapo?
Yes, happy to. Hello, everybody. Great to be here. So, as Seema said, my name is Dapo Ajayi. I'm actually a pharmacist by academic pursuit. And I've spent all my career in the pharmaceutical and healthcare industry. Had a variety of roles in R&D, commercial, but I spent most of my career in the supply chain. So what does supply chain mean? Supply chain is all about making the drugs that we supply. So I've been involved in running manufacturing plants, building manufacturing plants, running supply chains, and all the activities associated with that. My interest in science, I think, started very early on. I think I had the luxury of having some role models within my family. I was good at sciences, and I think I also had a curiosity in terms of wanting to understand more. And so I think it was a natural evolution for me, therefore, to pursue a scientific career.
That's great. What a great story, and it's always nice to have inspiration from family, and that's a great way to actually pursue and get inspired into STEM. Becky, what about you? What inspired you? Can you tell us about yourself?
Sure, thank you. And again, let me echo the warm welcome to everybody who's online and in the room, and congrats to the participants. Very excited to be here. For those of you joining in today's meeting from around the world who may not know, the Centers for Disease Control, or CDC, is essentially the Ministry of Health for the United States, and it's a premier public health agency that works around the world. And let me just quickly mention that my comments today are from me as an individual. I'm not necessarily representing the views of the CDC. So my career path really wasn't a straight one. Before I decided to do a doctorate and work as an epidemiologist, I did a lot of different jobs. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Honduras, a high school teacher in Boston, an adult educator with Médecins Sans Frontières, or Doctors Without Borders in Uganda. In all of those settings, I really saw the need for better health and the opportunities for translational medical science. And now at CDC, I've been really fortunate to have opportunities to conduct research and translate it into public health interventions and policy at the national and global scale. So I would say my main motivation has been really a desire to make the world better, to make a difference in people's lives. And I know I share that sense of purpose with so many of you who are joining today.
Thank you, Becky. And what a great way to sort of enter into public health after actually being in the field in all of those positions. Wonderful story. I'm going to go to Cassandra next. Cassandra, tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. This is really special for me because I was actually sitting exactly in your shoes, but a while ago in the 1990s, I was a finalist in 94, 95, and 96 in the microbiology category. And I just know how incredibly special ISEF is, and these people that you're going to meet, your peers, may end up being your colleagues in the future in science. So be sure to take advantage of all those networking opportunities. For me, science is really driven by an early curiosity. I was always curious about understanding, especially things in nature, just looking at insects crawling around or investigating plants or looking through a microscope at different microbes. And in a way, science fair became my sport as a kid. I'm physically disabled. I have an artificial limb. I've been an amputee since I was 3. And so there weren't so many sports activities open to me as a kid, but science fair really was something that was very accessible to me. And today, as a professor at Emory University, I lead an international research group, and we work with collaborators from across the globe, from the Balkans to Africa, to South America, the Mediterranean, in the U.S. Really, we have a global reach in the kind of work that we do. And a lot of that was really spurred by some of those early experiences I had and understanding the value of international collaboration and the value of looking at important scientific problems through an interdisciplinary lens. Today, my lab is focused on the discovery of new medicines from nature. We look for new antimicrobials to treat antibiotic-resistant pathogens. And
looking at AMR because it's an important topic area that we as a, another area in public health that we need to be focusing on. Thank you for sharing your story. And finally, Jazz, tell us about yourself and what inspired you.
Yeah, I'm Jazz Tolbert. I'm very excited to be here to share my stories with you all. It warms my heart to know that there are so many people out there interested in STEM. I think the recurrent theme here is curiosity, and I am a very curious person. I think growing up where I'm from, it was called like being nosy. And so I asked a lot of questions, and I always wanted to know, well, why does this happen? And if it didn't make sense to me, then I wanted to make it make sense. But I didn't have the luxury of having exposure to the sciences from people in my family. I was raised by my grandmother and my mother, both whom stopped their education at high school, and I was actually the first person in my family to attend college and became the first doctor in my family. But though they didn't have that type of education behind them, what they did have was like motivation, and they had, you know, persistence. And so they taught me that, to stay motivated, to be persistent, and to realize that you can do hard things and you can do what you set your mind to do. It may take a little extra work, but you can do it. And so I followed through with that. I had a really great mentor in high school who actually introduced me to the prospect of applying to colleges. I didn't even think I could ever go to college. And so she helped me get to that place. I went to college. I ended up going to med school because I wanted to turn that nosiness into something special and make meaningful changes. I focused on pediatrics because I really enjoyed working with kids and they seemed to gravitate towards me. And when I did get into my pediatric residency, I had this pull, I say, to help the most vulnerable populations, which are children with cancer. So I completed a fellowship in pediatric oncology, went on to do clinical research, and actually ran a clinical trial program for patients who had cancers that would relapse or we just couldn't get treated with the regular medications. And that led me to Johnson & Johnson because I wanted to make more of a global impact and help people around the world with cancer try and find a cure.
What a great story. Again, congratulations for, breaking so many different, boundaries. It's wonderful. And also the work that you're doing on cancer research, especially pediatric cancer research. Again, one of those things, see what Happy Nosy leads up to is a betterment for the world. So that is great. That's wonderful. And now I don't want to hog all the time that we have with all of you, and because I know that the students and the finalists are all there eager to ask you questions. So we're going to quickly move to them, and I know a lot of them have lots of questions. So I am going to actually go first to Johanna Bernew from Minnesota. She has the first question. Johanna?
Hi, my name is Johanna Bernew. I live in Minnesota, and I am an Indigenous person in science. And so part of me being here is I am very honored to be able to look around and see the diversity in the room. But that being said, it is often said that women do not see themselves reflected in the scientific field. In what ways have you struggled and combated this issue?
So may I go to Becky first this time? Becky, do you want to take that first?
Sure, happy to. Thank you, Joanna, and wonderful to know that you are amongst the proud students here today. It's a great question. I think I do think the world is changing for the better, but still we have a major gap in the science field, and particularly I think for women of color or women of other communities are not well represented in terms of role models. One of the things that I have tried to do is search out for those role models, and not just one, but as many as I could find. Sometimes those role models won't be right in your institution or where you live, but you can find them and reach out to them. So I would say search out for role models. The other thing that really needs to be part of what you do as you continue in STEM is be confident. Speak out proudly, make sure you know what you're talking about, but don't be intimidated. Even if you're the only woman in the room, don't be intimidated. There's a lot of other strategies we can talk about on this panel, but I think confidence is one of the main ones.
Now, Jazz, you talked about having a mentor. What role did that play in seeing somebody like yourself? Did that have a role in your getting inspired into science?
Yeah, absolutely. And I still have mentors to this day. Like I have multiple mentors, and I try to keep the ones that I find along the way. But it's about having exposure, right? So I didn't have certain exposures when I decided to go into this career. But along the way, I met more people who could expose me to more things. And Johanna, you have a really good question about diversity and feeling like, being women and not having as many women in the field. But because we know that diversity helps everyone, right? It helps your business grow. It helps everyone to have diversity of thought and of experiences in the room. It's often that I find myself being sort of what we call the only in the room. Maybe I'm the only woman. I'm often the only Black woman. I may be the only Black female physician. Maybe I'm the only oncologist. But there's a lot of those instances where I am the only, but I try not to be the final. And so the way I combat that is that I am engaged in a lot of diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives at Johnson & Johnson, where we're building these pipeline programs to give more students like yourself, or like the student I was growing up who didn't necessarily have those exposures, giving them exposures to STEM careers and careers in industry, careers in healthcare, to show them what it could be and what they could be.
Thank you so much, Jazz. That's a great lead into our next question, which asks about disparities. And so the question actually comes from Pauline Estrada from Fresno, California. Pauline, do you want to ask your question?
Yes. Hello, I'm Pauline. I'm from Fresno, California. And thank you so much for being an inspiration, first of all, for so many young women in STEM. So my question is, how can we decrease the disparity in financial aid, grants, scholarships, and other forms of educational assistance for women in STEM-related courses to encourage more of them to enter as well as remain in the field?
Thank you, Pauline. Thank you for that great question. Dapo, would you like to take that first?
Yeah, no, happy to. Pauline, I think it's a really important question that you ask, and it's something that actually, I actually am part of the YSTEM 2D leadership team that you saw the video on up front. And it's something that in the YSTEM 2D program within J&J, we really have explored and talked about. And an area that we really sort of kind of focused on is certainly in terms of women when they are in that sort of postdoc phase of their higher academic careers. Quite often they don't always feel that they're sort of at the forefront in terms of getting the funding and the sponsorship to take their research forward. So we have established something called the Graduate Scholars Program, where we invite women from academic institutions all over the globe to submit their research, and we then have a diverse panel of academics who then assess all those applications, and we choose a female researcher in each one of the STEM 2D disciplines. And we provide funding, and we provide, as Jazz talked about, mentorship to help them in terms of the pursuit of their research. And I know that's just one small way, but I think it's lots of small kind of interventions like that, I think, are the ways in which we're going to sort of help support women through STEM careers, STEM education, and STEM research.
Thank you, Dapo. Cassandra, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are some small actions that all women can and should take to help increase your chances of being competitive at many of these awards. And it kind of comes down to the cultivation of mentorship, which we've talked about already. But I want to focus more on these other two concepts of sponsorship and peer networks. A mentor is there to give you more in-depth guidance throughout your career development. But what a sponsor does is there's someone that kind of keeps you in the back of their mind. These are the people that perhaps are linked to these opportunities or have ways to nominate you for certain opportunities. And so there are steps that you can take to just keep them informed. Where are you at with your research? How are things going? To keep it friendly, keep them informed. And the other group are your peers. I mean, I would say that some of my most important mentors today are some of my fellow women academics that are experiencing similar things as I am, and they're the ones that say, hey, I saw this opportunity, you should really try for that, and encouraging one another. So having that encouragement through different levels of mentorship, sponsorship, and kind of peer support can really help put you on a path towards success, and that's something that is totally in your control. You can make those steps to cultivate those relationships.
That's great advice, Cassandra, and phenomenal insight from you too, Dapo. So we're going to go to our next question, and that's from Caitlin Deppin. Caitlin, do you want to ask your question?
Hello, my name is Caitlin Greffen, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I look up to all of you so much. How has your gender been an asset to your career in STEM?
Great question, Caitlin. So let me now turn to Becky first and ask you. And actually, this is a great question, I think, for all four of you to answer. So why don't we kick it off with Becky?
Thank you, and thank you, Caitlin. Very, very good question. Because I think so often we focus on the negative, and it's also really important to say, how could this be an asset? I will say, I think for your generation, it may be an asset in that I think finally there is a widespread awakening that we have now reached as a society to the importance of diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in STEM and beyond. So it may be an asset in that today there's more receptivity to women playing roles. However, when I thought about this question and you mentioned it, I was thinking about, for me, I think it's been an asset because I have always been attuned to the struggles that women face in any context. And that's helped me focus a lot of my research work on interventions that would benefit, in my case, women's health. I think when you are a woman, you may ask questions that will be more relevant to women than perhaps our male counterparts would ask. So I think that's been an asset for my career.
Yeah, Jack, do you want to go next?
Oh, sure, yeah. I echo what Becky says as well. It's like, as women, we have so many roles, right, outside of our actually defined or so quote unquote job role. And so I think having any woman on your team is an asset. We bring diversity just in our home experiences that apply to work. We have a lot of translatable experiences outside of the home that can apply to work. But just diversity all around is great for the business aspect. I do think that, as you stated, Becky, being a woman, like we often have different ways of thinking about things and problem solving. I love to say that I like to meet people where they are. I think as women, we've had to do that so often in life that it's easily translatable into business, and it's quite helpful when you're able to do that because you're working in functions where, not everybody is the same. You don't want to work with a group of the same people, but you often have to meet your colleagues where they are to get things accomplished. So I think that's an asset in being a woman as well.
That's great. Dapo, do you want to take this next?
Yes, no. I would build on the comment that Jazz made about being the other in the room, right? And that can both be a negative and a positive. And I always look at it in terms of the positive in that it makes me stand out. And so I always look at that in terms of I'm going to stand out, but I'm going to stand out for the positives and for what I bring. So I think that can be an asset as a woman. And I guess I also have the benefit of being not only a woman, but a woman of color as well. I think the other thing I would say is I have had a long career of leading large teams. I've led manufacturing sites, I've led teams across the globe. And one of the things that I think that I've seen in terms of many female leaders is that what we often bring, which is something that I think is an asset, is empathy. The ability to really kind of relate to, understand our teams, understand the issues. And I think that's a real asset that women bring into the workforce and into the business and the academic environment.
And Cassandra.
Wow, I echo everything that each of the previous speakers said. I mean, absolutely each of those points. I guess the only thing I would add is that I've found that women that I work with are really great at multitasking and organizing things because we're so used to juggling so many things, especially if you're responsible for caregiving at home. And so having that ability to multitask and to keep your work really balanced and organized, I think is an absolute asset whenever you're undertaking any sort of scientific work.
Thank you. Great answers. And, it's a great thing to think about how this can be an asset. Well, of course, there is a flip side, and I think our next question comes from Sirisha Guti, and she actually has the opposite question. And this time, too, I'm going to call on each of you to give us an answer. So, can I turn it over to you, Sirisha?
My name is Sirisha Guti, and I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. As we all know, science is filled with many accomplishments, but also many more setbacks. So I wanted to ask, have you ever experienced a setback in your career that later helps you in your life or in any other context?
That's a great question. Thank you, Sirisha. So this time I will call on you, Cassandra, since you had the floor. Let's kick it off with you first.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I think some of those setbacks I learned very early on. I did not win all of my first science fair projects I engaged in. I think you have to learn to be comfortable with failure. And not just comfortable with failure, but learn from that failure and how to better yourself. As an academic scientist, I spent a lot of my time writing research grant proposals, and unfortunately, not every one of those grant proposals is accepted. And so you have to learn to deal with that criticism and those setbacks, and then think of ways to forge your way forward. And so, yes, there are setbacks, but if you take the right attitude with it and you learn from those, it can make you an even better scientist.
Jazz, what about you?
Yeah, I completely agree, and it's a good question. I like that you asked that question because I often ask it to people when they're interviewing for internship roles. Like when they tell, I know you're successful, but tell me about a failure. But it's funny because I've had so many. I mean, that's life, right? I've had a lot on the job, and as Cassandra stated, like as a scientist, I think probably 90% of the job is setbacks, and when you get that one thing that's successful, you run with it. But I think the bigger lesson for me has been like taking those L's, right, those losses, and actually turning them into lessons. So I try and take something out of every failure to learn from and take forward into my career. So that's what's been most helpful for me. I'm not going to lie and say that in the moment it's not hard to deal with, but it's how you persist, how you move forward from that to keep going that is what really matters.
That's great. Becky, over to you.
You know, I'd echo what's been said, but that failure can sometimes be a blessing in hindsight, although it's painful at first. I would say in my own career, I think, you know, part of the scientific process is pursuing a hypothesis, and sometimes it will not come out, and you will find that you've spent many hours or many years, and you end up with a negative finding, and that can be deeply disappointing. But it can also maybe open your eyes and redirect you to what is going to be really important and what eventually will be an important finding. So I think in the scientific realm, failure can be a longer-term blessing. I'll say for myself personally, sometimes failure has opened up other doors. I know before getting my current position, I had been turned down for a job that was actually much lower in our agency. And I felt very depressed. But then I realized that when one door closes, another one opens. And I then applied for the job I currently have, and it turned out to be a much better job. But I wouldn't have thought that at the time. I have two daughters who are now in their early 20s, and I can say from watching them, my advice for all of you is don't get too stressed out if you have a setback or if you experience a failure. You know, not doing well on one exam or not getting that one job or not getting into that one university, it will not be the end of the world. You're going to do well in the long run. So that would be my other comment on failure, is that we all have them and we all will have more of them, but don't let one of them derail you. Keep your eyes on the prize. You will get there.
That's great advice. And Dapo?
Nothing to add. I think Becky summarized it so nicely.
Wonderful. Thank you. So, and now we actually have a question from one of our virtual finalists, Morel. So Morel Mogan Kunchu is going to ask a question.
Hi, my name is Morobin Constant, and I'm from the United States. My question is, what were some challenges you had to face in the science field as a woman? Were there any times that you wanted to quit, and how did you overcome those?
Jaco, why don't we start with you?
I didn't quite hear the question properly. What was it?
It was, what were the challenges you had to face? Was there any time you wanted to quit, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, okay, no, great, thank you. So, I think as a female leader, particularly in supply chain, when I started out my career, I looked upwards and there were no senior women in supply chain, right? So I think initially in my career, it was a case of I didn't really necessarily understand what the opportunities were for me. I think also as a woman in a very sort of male-dominated environment, I think it meant that I needed to also work hard to be taken seriously, to be seen as that technical expert. For assumptions not to be made in terms of the role that I was playing in the meeting room because I was a female, because there were certain roles that women did, and they weren't necessarily the technical leadership roles. So I think I had to overcome some of those perceptions. I think though my natural personality is one that when I see somebody perhaps making assumptions about me or challenging me, I kind of rise to that. My personality is such that I want to overcome that challenge. So I've personally sort of learned, ways in which I can perhaps draw from within and say to myself, well, am I up for this? And if I am, then I'm going to go for it. And what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is to the points that were made before. I can fail, and if I fail, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, that's great. Cassandra, would you like to add to that?
I mean, I completely echo Sapo's comments on this. I think anytime that you face a serious setback or your place in a room or in an environment is questioned. I've had my place in spaces of, workspaces outright questioned. And I write about this in my book, The Plant Hunter, which is a memoir of my journey in science. And, you can either kind of crawl back within, which is the instincts that I naturally have, or you can take a breath and say, well, actually, no, I do belong in this space. I'm an expert in XYZ, and I'm here for purpose Z, right? But it takes courage, and it's not always easy. But you do feel better after you do make a stand for yourself.
Great advice. Great advice. Our next question comes from Michelle, and Michelle Park is from Ohio. Michelle, do you want to ask your question?
Hello, I'm Michelle Park from Northeast Ohio. Thank you so much for such an empowering and inspiring conversation. My question is, was there anyone you met that encouraged you to pursue science as a woman in STEM?
That's a great question. Jazz, I believe you mentioned a mentor, so do you want to share your story first?
Sure, I can share a story about my mentor. So she was, my first mentor was in high school, and this was my English teacher. She wasn't even a science teacher, but she knew about my love for science, and she thought I was a pretty smart girl. And there was one day, I know you guys probably don't have this these days, but we used to have these really, really thick books that you had to look through to determine, like, oh, which college will you go to, and where is this college located? What scholarships do they offer? It was a huge book. So her assignment to us in class that time was to sit and pick 10 colleges that you wanted to apply to. So at the end of the class, I had not turned in my assignment. And she held me back at the end of class and was like, why didn't you do this? And I said, because I'm not going to college. And she was like, yeah, you are. And I was like, no, I'm not. This was never a plan because, again, that exposure, not having had anyone in my family who had done that before, I didn't necessarily know that that was a goal I could attain. But she took the time, and we scheduled time after class. It was like once a week or so, where she would walk me through college applications and help me apply. She paid for a couple of my application fees because we couldn't afford them. And then I got full ride scholarships to a few colleges, but chose an HBCU in New Orleans, Louisiana, Xavier University, because at the time they were number one for placing African Americans in medical school. So I knew that's what I wanted to do. But she was my mentor for getting to the career, not necessarily for STEM, but an overall mentor. But along the way, I met many female scientists, female physicians, who I leaned on as mentors and still do today. Many women in industry now, who I call my mentors, who are good people to just, as I think it was Cassandra who stated, like who are in this space with you, who have some of the same challenges, who you can bounce life ideas off and not just career ideas, but who know what it is to be the only, and to be a woman in some of these spaces. And it's been very helpful for me in my career to seek those people out and to keep them in my circle.
Becky, what about you? Did you have somebody who encouraged you to pursue a career in STEM?
No, for me it was really my grandmother. My grandmother was somebody who was widowed when she was quite young. She raised her kids as a working mother. She was a teacher. When she finally retired, she had always wanted to go back to school and get a PhD. And at the age of 67, she started a doctoral program, and she was so proud of that. She completed it, and she was so proud of it. And I remember her encouraging me and my siblings early on to do that earlier in life than what she had done. But she was so proud that she did that, and she was fully confident that we could also pursue that, but do it on the front end, not at the end of our careers. So she really inspired me. I'd also echo maybe what Jazz said about keeping those mentors around you at all times. And, some of my mentors, I think, Cassandra, you mentioned this too, some of my mentors have also been other women and peers who we help each other and support each other. So, should I apply for this? Should I try for this? I think we can support each other as a community and encourage each other to be.
Mentioned, in your career when you were the only sort of woman who had this technical expertise and you were looking up and didn't see anyone like you. So where did you find that sort of mentorship, or was there anybody else, maybe not necessarily a woman? Did somebody else encourage you?
Yes, no, and I'm really glad you asked me this question because I wanted to come in and say, actually, I found many of my mentor sponsors, and there is a difference as Cassandra talked about, were actually male leaders in the organization. Male leaders who saw something in me, who invested time in me, who pushed me into, and they did, they sometimes pushed me into roles that took me out of my comfort zone, but actually was really good for me and helped me grow, and who advocated for me in terms of, we think that Dapo should get this role. So I think your mentors and your sponsors can take many shapes and forms, and I can only concur with what Cassandra and Rebecca have said, but also many of them will continue on that life and career journey with you. But equally, you will find new ones along the way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the role of male ambassadors is and champions is really important. Cassandra, I want to, see if you have a word on that, and then we'll go to the next question.
That's a great point. I've also had a number of strong male role models in my career, peers and collaborators that are perhaps more advanced than I was in my career. I kind of, working strongly together, but also gave me a lot of advice on some of the things that I wasn't really taught in graduate school on negotiation skills or some of like team management skills that you're not necessarily taught in your traditional science courses. And also, going back early on to my dad, who, just allowed me to really explore my curiosity, no matter how strange it was, and really helped me to do that with different building projects and things that I had them weld together for, to fuel my different experiments.
That's great. Thank you. Our next question actually comes from one of our virtual finalists, Yunjar. So let's hear the question.
Hi, my name is Angelina Kwon, and I'm from the United States. My question for the panel is, when you face a situation where you feel you're discriminated against because of your gender, how did you stand up for yourself? And if there's no such situation, what's an advice that you would give to a woman who's pursuing a STEM career? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go in reverse order this time. Let's start with Cassandra. Cassandra?
Yeah, so I've had some of those uncomfortable situations, definitely, of discrimination. And again, it's not always easy to navigate, and it very much depends on the situation. But I just kind of arm myself with the body armor of my accomplishments, and as Dapo was saying, is your expertise will shine through. And if you're not getting that after a bit of speaking with you, then they really are not the experts in the room. And so you should take confidence in that. That would be my advice.
That's great. Dapo, over to you next.
So I think my build on Cassandra's comment is to really believe in your worth. Believe in your ability. Believe that you deserve to be there. And believe that you have a really important role to play.
Great advice. Great advice. I hope we were all the students were writing it down, because I'm definitely writing that down. That's great. That's excellent. And I'm pinning it on my little whiteboard over here. Over to you, Becky.
Yeah, that was a very touching. I should have gone before you, because that was a nice ending. Let me share, in the spirit of transparency, let me share a situation that I experienced. You asked the question when something happened. And one situation that was very difficult for me happened in the my final months of my doctoral program, when I was just about to defend my dissertation, and I started getting unwanted romantic overtures, including numerous inappropriate late-night emails from the co-chair of my doctoral committee. And he was a very senior professor. I was super stressed about this, and I was also didn't want to get any retaliation from him during my defense, because it was the end of my PhD. And I never wanted another woman to go through that experience. So I remember wrestling with this. And so I decided what was right for me. And I think when we face these situations, you have to think what's right for you, because these are hard situations. I decided I first needed to finish my dissertation, then my defense. I did that, thankfully, successfully. And then I went to the dean of faculty, and I presented my evidence in front of that professor. And I did that. That was also hard to do, but I did that because I didn't want another woman to experience that. It was a terrible experience for me personally. So my advice is, do stand up for yourself, even in the most difficult situations, but do it in a way that doesn't destroy you or upset you too much. Get the support you need from friends. Today, there are many counselors, there's HR services, there are laws and processes to protect you. So if you do stand up for yourself, you will have some backing. So I'll go back to what Daphne said as my ending, which is believe in yourself and you will be great, to be more cheerful. But I think we do need to speak frankly that these things do happen and they may happen to you. That doesn't mean that you won't be successful, but you need to think through what you can do to prevent it from happening to somebody else in the future.
Yep. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and as you said, you have to be open, honest, and transparent about it because these things do happen, and we want to be sure that there is some stories of how women dealt with it, but also what we can do in the future to prevent such things from happening. So thank you for sharing your story. We really appreciate it. And
add on to that, I just want to make sure everyone in the audience is aware of Title IX offices. Every university has them. That is a resource that is available to everybody that when you go into college, if you ever experience that as a student, there are power dynamics at play. But there are resources there to help you. Title IX is the name of the office you can get help from.
I'm sure there are equivalent ones around the globe because I'm conscious you have a global audience. Yeah.
That's a good point, and around the globe.
Yes, absolutely. They're very important because there are resources there, and make sure that you look into those. And that's great advice from all of you. Jazz, did you ever feel discriminated against because of your gender? And did you have to stand up for yourself?
Yeah, gender, race, both. I've often had to stand up for myself. I would say I would recommend two things, right? So find your voice. And then the biggest one for me was knowing your worth. I always had the voice. I never mind a challenge. I'm kind of like Jocko, like when people challenge me, I rise to it. I'm like, okay, I'm here for this. I can get you there. Mm-hmm. But it was the knowing my worth part that made the challenges worthwhile. Like, you can argue all day with someone and tell them, no, I belong here. But once I knew my worth, like I always knew that if I was in the room, then I belonged in the room. And anyone who wanted to challenge that was fine. That's your right. But I know what I'm worth, and so I'm ready for this challenge. Like I know I will win this challenge because I know my worth. And so I think those two have been the most helpful for me. It did take me a while to understand and appreciate the worst part. I think someone has mentioned before, like imposter syndrome. A lot of us have that. I often still get it. But it took me a while to just realize that, it was always like the why me? Why am I here? Why do they really want me here? I don't know. Do I fit in? Until I started saying, well, why not me? Why don't I belong here? I can hang with everybody else. I'm well qualified. I belong in this space too. So just finding that voice, using it, and then knowing your worth for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I build on Jazz's point
there. Yeah.
Because I think you said something really important. And it is about, quite often that imposter syndrome, there's a little voice inside your head that asks all those questions, why me? Why am I here? And I'm a strong believer you've got to train that little voice. And as you just talked about, Jazz, you've got to train that little voice to have a different conversation with yourself. Why not me? I deserve to be here. I deserve to have a voice at this table. And I think practicing that, and we all have to keep practicing it. I don't know about you, but I do. I have to practice it on a regular basis. And sometimes if there's a big presentation, I look myself in the mirror and I have a conversation with myself to say, you know what? You know more about this than they do. And actually you deserve to be there and you deserve to have the time to kind of have this conversation or this presentation or whatever. So imposter syndrome is something that I think so often is something that impacts us as female leaders, and I think it's something that we need to kind of wrestle with and take hold of, and certainly retrain that little voice inside our head.
Thank you. Wow, such great advice, and I think we're recording this session, so even if somebody has missed it, I think that we should make sure that we share this with students all over the world, because it's got just some great insights and great advice. We have a last question now, and that will be from Mariana Simoes. So Mariana, do you want to ask your question?
Hi, my name is Mariana, and I'm from Portugal, and thank you so much for the opportunity to ask you a question. Being a woman is in general a remarkably intricate task. and being a woman in STEM is even more so, since it entails a lack of mentorship, a lack of trust coming from employers, and the intimidation that comes in, for example, being in a STEM classroom where you are the only female. Since STEM careers help narrow the gender pay gap and enhance women's economic security and ensure a diverse STEM workforce, my question is, have you ever doubted your ability as a scientist? Why, and how did you handle and eventually overcome those feelings and experiences? Thank you.
Wow, that's a very deep question. Have you ever doubted your abilities as a scientist? Why, and how did you overcome those situations and feelings? Dapo, do you want to take this first?
So I think I think anybody who says they've never doubted themselves, male or female, I don't think is telling the truth actually. So yes, of course I have. You know, early on in my career, but also when I've had sort of perhaps big sort of promotions, you know, and you're kind of finding your feet, and you kind of perhaps don't really sort of know sort of just the lay of the land and what you need to be doing. And that's when that little imposter syndrome voice can start to kind of creep in. So I first of all, I sort of try and retrain that. But the other thing that I would say is, and I think it might have been Cassandra that mentioned it earlier on, one of the things that I've also done throughout my career is I've invested in not only investing in relationships with mentors and sponsors, but also building my network, right? And I feel that network is something that's really important to you in terms of in times of doubt. Because it's really good to be able to pick up the phone and talk to somebody either about the problem you're having or how you're feeling. And sometimes they will kind of listen. Sometimes they'll give you a good shake and say, you know, look, you know, you're fine. You can do this. So, you know, I think that network that broad network that you have, I think is a really important asset to have in those times of doubt.
That is great. And often people say that you need to have a best friend or two at work, somebody you trust that you can go and talk to and say, am I crazy? Can you just, you know, give me a reality check here?
Cassandra, I want to just go to that because that is so very important. I'm so glad you brought it up, Dapo, about that network and having those best friends at work that you can go to, because that is often the lifesaver for me. I get into that space as well, especially when it's time for, like you said, a big presentation, or you're trying to show people that you're ready for promotion, and then I second guess myself, like, am I really ready though to step into that space? So there's always the doubt that comes with it. But then also you need those people who see you in a different light, who don't have the little voice inside of your head that's telling you, no, you're not ready, who actually see all the great things that you do and they know that you are, that can support you in these decisions. And I found such a great network of those people at work that we work together, you know, as colleagues, we work together on diversity initiatives, but they're just really great people who sit in these spaces, who have been where I've been or are trying to get where I am, but who can give me that my unbiased opinion, like who can give me that feedback without my own personal biases setting in. So that's been really important.
That is great. That's really good to hear, and also, you know, very good advice as well. Becky, what about you?
Okay, I share what Dapo said. All of us are going to feel this sometimes, and I get those little voices absolutely in my head. Usually around 3 a.m. is when they hit me the most. But I think, let me share just a couple, like, perhaps silly, but little things I do for myself, little tricks. Now, I think those of you in the audience will have a different song than I use. But being someone of my generation, I always listen to, when I've got something big coming up where I'm having self-doubt, I listen to Helen Reddy's song, I Am Woman. And she has a song, I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore, I'll spare you my rendition of it. But I think if you've got a favorite song that makes you feel good and rallies you up, that's something I try to use, you know, as I'm kind of going out the door and facing some challenge. to build up my confidence. I also try to prepare. If I've got a big talk to give, I do it. I prepare in front of the mirror, and I make myself really prepare and be very, very ready for it. I didn't do that for today, but if I've got a big scientific talk to give, I'll do that. There's other sort of more generic advice. I think talking about building a network, I think it's important to make sure your network is also diverse, that you include people of all different backgrounds and genders, et cetera, because we tend to be very siloed in our networks at times, and the more you can be diverse and inclusive in your network, the more you learn about yourself and keep yourself in perspective. So I would just add that into the network. The other thing I think for you all, we have been making progress, and each generation is making more progress, and I'm just so excited about this program and what you're doing, because it's your all's turn to get out there and lead from wherever you are, and I know you're going to do that.
That's great. Thank you, Becky. Yeah, we all have those songs that makes us feel like we're all back, and yes, we are. So, Cassandra, what about you?
Well, I think we put a lot of focus in today's section on things that you all can do as individuals, but I think that there's also a need to talk about what can happen at the leadership levels. Some of the biggest challenges that I see in science and in STEM fields across the board have to do with pay disparities for women. Women are still underpaid compared to men in their respective fields, and this crosses over between academia and industry. And so the things that I do today is really push for salary transparency, really push for more transparency when it comes to financial packages for research projects, from such as university startup packages. And there are ways that we can really, I think, push and raise awareness around this problem, because I think that is also one of the major factors that does negatively influence women, is juggling that burden of caregiving and doing it on a smaller salary than sometimes your peers. And that's just an economic reality that we need to really raise awareness about.
Yes, that's really well said. And I think, Dapo, you want to add something?
Yes. I want to build on Cassandra and Rebecca's comments around, Rebecca was saying that it's your time, and Cassandra around, we need to sort of push for change. And I also would say to you all, going back to know your worth, that choose organizations, whether it be academic institutions or companies, that value you. Because actually, we're at a point now whereby actually organizations are waking up to the talent that is out there in terms of female talent, in terms of diverse talent. So, and they're waking up to the fact that having diverse workforces, diverse academic teams actually result in better innovation, better outcomes. And so they're now looking to attract the brightest and best. And so look for companies whereby actually they are offering mentorship. Look for companies that are creating a culture of inclusion. Look for companies that don't tolerate intimidation and who are striving to achieve parity in terms of pay. And I would say, see yourself as having choices. And I think that's what helps change things, certainly in terms of in a business environment.
That is, if I could just add, that's all. I think it's not just in the business environment; it's wherever you are. If you choose a public service career, the same issues come to play. There are perhaps a few more regulations, but they still come to play. You still see disparities in salary and promotion, etc. So I just want people to be thinking also about public service, not just private sector. Thank you.
That's great. I mean, this has been just an extraordinary panel. I think we could go on and on for another hour. It just feels like we just barely scratched the surface and had 5 minutes, but it's been an hour of phenomenal conversation. So first of all, I want to thank all of you for joining us today. It has been a wonderful session. Thanks to the students. You have just such great, bright futures, and, the world is your oyster, so go seize the day. And then, to our panelists, really, really appreciate all your advice and your insights. And as you said, I recently had a chance to talk with a good friend of mine who I hadn't been in touch with for a long time. She said, finally I realized, Seema, that I shouldn't be thinking about, am I good enough for that job? I should be thinking about, do I want this job? Is this job good enough for me and fits me? And so, with those words from my very, very wise friend, I will wish you all a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of ISEF. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Our thanks to Seema, this afternoon's panelists, and to Johnson & Johnson. And don't forget to join us for tonight's event at the Georgia Aquarium. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the special awards ceremony. Thanks for joining us today, and everyone have a great evening.